Hello, Tim from Fairplay now on the 16th of February 2022. As promised, I thought I'd report back to you guys on the meeting and talk that I went to last night. And as far as the Mid-Sussex Assembly thing was concerned, this organisation based around Haywards Heath and West Sussex, I wanted to find out more about those guys, but as it happens, I didn't really do that because the talk by David Adelman, the People's Lawyer, was the main event of the evening, and it was really, by the time that had finished, it was really time to go home. So I didn't really get to know anyone from the Mid-Sussex Assembly itself, but that will be forthcoming. I'll go to one of their proper kind of meetings where they discuss various topics in very short order. But the David Adelman talk, it's quite a marathon actually. I did see him speak at an event I went to in September, but he only had about a half-hour slot there. But this last night went on for 3 hours, and he talks quickly, and it really was 3 hours without really any waffle. So it was a massive amount of information that he imparted. And if you ever get a chance to see one of his full 3-hour talks, I could highly recommend it. Only cost a £5. So really, really good value. The only downside to it was that the chairs we had to sit on were a bit on the hard side. So my backside was completely numb by the end of it. And everybody else was sort of, including me, was sort of fidgeting around quite a lot. But apart from that, it was great. And he's such a good speaker, and he imparted so much information. And people talk about truth bombs, but if you got truth bombs, but his talks are like a full-on 1,000-bomber carpet bombing raid. I know, it's just so many truth bombs getting dropped there. But I'll just give you one that he said, and he came out with so many different things on so many different topics. It's not just common law. He was talking about equity law and also the situation we're in, and also things to do with health in general as well. And quite interesting, he was saying there's only 3 causes to disease. One of them is stress. Number 2 is toxicity, and 3 is deficiency. And they're the only 3 things that sort of causes you ailments, according to him. So that was really, really interesting, I felt. Yeah, another thing David was saying is all the people really into the Lurgy narrative have undergone something called mass formation, which, you know, if you've been watching this channel for a while, you probably know what that is. You know, basically mass hypnosis, brought about by all the fear porn and the propaganda and the psychological manipulation. But he was saying that when people are in that state and then they're told things like, oh, you know, we're all in it together, you know, we're doing these things for the good of everybody, you know, there's certain things like the muzzleage and other things that go in arms, that is doing your bit for the country kind of thing, doing your bit for society. And David last night was saying that is their therapy. That is how they regard it. You know, sort of putting on the muzzle, going and getting the V is part of their therapy, and it helps them get out of, you know, the fear and the psychological trauma that they've suffered. And that's why they really don't take kindly to the likes of us, you know, giving them sort of facts and figures and truth bombs and all the rest of it. So I thought that was a really, really good explanation. I thought I'd move on now to really all of the protests happening here, there and everywhere. I keep going on about the Canadian ones, but there's ones going on here, there and everywhere else, and the kind of powers that shouldn't be are sort of doing their best to kind of close them down. But even if they manage to close the one in Ottawa down totally, they're only going to, you know, because they're talking about freezing people's bank accounts and all sorts. Although I did see, I'm not sure if it's true, I did see that I don't know if it's a Canadian High Court or whoever it was, or somebody there was saying that the criteria that has to be met for a Canadian Prime Minister to invoke the emergency powers, those criteria, they say, hasn't been met. So they're basically telling Trudeau to get on his bike and get lost. So I don't know how true that is. If you're there in Canada, maybe you can leave a comment in the comment section below as to what's going on there. But that'd be quite interesting if he's just told to get lost by whoever, the sort of legal people are, or whatever it is. But even if he does manage to shut down the Ottawa thing, and other people in other countries shut down their sort of protesters as well, well, I reckon they're going to have a game of whack-a-mole on their hands, you know, because as soon as they shut one down, there's just going to be like 2 or 3 others that pop up elsewhere. And you know that game, amusement arcade game of whack-a-mole, where you've got the little things that come out of the holes and you've got to sort of get the hammer thing and whack them, but they come up and they then go down sort of really quickly. So you've got to have quick reactions to you know, bash these things on the head, plastic mold things on the head, and then you get your points racking up. And I think these powers that shouldn't be are going to be faced with a very frustrating game of whack-a-mole in the coming months, because as soon as they manage, you know, even if they do manage, and it's not even looking like Trudeau's going to manage this thing, but even if he did manage it, you know, he shuts one thing down in one place, there's just going to be 3 other things that pop up elsewhere. And yeah, good luck with that. I think they're just going to be faced with a very frustrating kind of year until they get the message that, you know, they're just not going to win. There's just no way they can win. Anyway, I've got to get on. I've got a little job to look at down here, and then got to go somewhere else and change a couple of lights over. And so got to go and do that. Tim from Fair Play now. Thanks for watching.